Hey, what's up, guys? Getting back on Comping Out the TV here to finish my series related to the Italian national team and who they are playing in the World Cup qualifiers in March 2026. I've already gone over the team that they're playing, Northern Ireland, who they're playing in Bergamo in their first game. I've also gone over Bosnia, who Italy could potentially play if they win against Northern Ireland. And these videos are on my YouTube page, and I will link them to this video when I'm done so that you could see my analysis on those teams, Northern Ireland and Bosnia. And today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a deep dive into this Welsh team who will be playing Bosnia in March. And the winner of that game will be playing Italy or Northern Ireland. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into this Welsh team. And they were in a group with Belgium, Kazakhstan, North Macedonia, Liechtenstein, and they came in second place. They they came in second place to Belgium. They beat Kazakhstan 1-0. They beat North Macedonia they tied North Macedonia 1-1. They beat Liechtenstein 3-0. They lost to Wales. No, they lost to Belgium 4-3. They beat Kazakhstan 1-0. They lost to Belgium again 4-2. They beat Liechtenstein 1-0, and they beat North Macedonia 7-1. So those were their results. And just to give you some comparables with teams that Wales has played in Italy have played. Italy has played Belgium not too long ago in the Nations League, maybe a little over a year ago. And Italy, they tied Belgium 2-2, and they beat Belgium away 1-0. And as I told you over here, Wales, they lost 4-2 to Belgium and 4-3. Now, I don't know how much you could read into that. I know that Italy tied Belgium 2-2, but that first game, I think it was in Rome. Italy was winning 2-0. They actually played really good under Spalletti, and they kept that Doku guy under control on the wing. He plays for Manchester City, and they were winning 2-0. The only reason why, in my opinion, Belgium got back into that game was because Pellegrini got a red card, a silly red card, and Italy had to play pretty much over a half down a man, and Belgium ended up tying the game, and the rest is history. But besides Belgium, Italy hasn't really played many of these teams as of late. I know we have the North Macedonia situation where Italy got knocked out of the World Cup because of them 4 years ago. But Italy has since redeemed themselves with North Macedonia, and they beat them 5-2 in European qualifiers for the UEFA Euro 2024. So those are the games that Wales has played. And like I said, they came in second place in the World Cup qualifiers to Belgium. And that's why they're here in the World Cup playoffs. And I'm not going to make excuses, but I'm just reading this group that Belgium has, and I don't understand how Belgium was given this group to qualify when Italy, I feel like they had a far stronger group. They had to play Norway, and Israel was never going to be an easy team. Those guys, they fight hard. But, Italy beat Belgium and were superior than Belgium in the Nations League. And for some reason, Italy gets a harder group. But I'm not going to make any excuses. Italy should not have to, worry about what group they're in. they should be able to make it. Anyways, moving on. The squad value for this Welsh team is about $184 million squad value, according to Transfer Market. They're 32 ranked in the world for UEFA, and no, for FIFA. They're 32. They're 32. They're ranked 32 in the world in FIFA, and obviously they're a UEFA team. They have an average age of about 26 years old. And primarily all these players that play on this Welsh team, they either play in the Premier League, the Championship, or League One. And so they all play in England. Obviously, the Premier League is the top league. In England, the Championship is the second. In this League One is the third. They have about 9 players that play in the Premier League, 9 players that play in the Championship, and 7 players that play in the third tier of English football. Their coach is Craig Bellamy. I don't know if you guys remember Craig Bellamy, but from my recollection of him, he was, kind of like I don't know. I mean, maybe what I'm saying is not true, but he was kind of like a fiery guy when he played. Seemed like he was always getting in some kind of altercation or whatnot. That's my recollection of him. He has experience coaching at Burnley and Anderlecht. Burnley is an English team, and when he was coaching with them, he was an assistant coach, and he was under Vincent Kompany, who now is a coach at Bayern Munich. So he was an assistant at Burnley and Anderlecht, which is a Belgium team. And other than that, I did not find any other information that Bellamy has coached anywhere. So it's kind of a little, I don't want to say surprising, that he's coaching the Welsh national team at this point in his career. It seems like he really hasn't had that high of, of exposure to elite head coaching in these soccer leagues. It seems like he was an assistant, and then now he's got this Welsh team that he's coaching. I'm sure he's a good coach, but I'm just saying that he's not like a coach like an experienced coach that's coached in head coached in Champions League or the Europa League or Conference League or in a top league. It seems like he's been an assistant, and now he's got this Welsh league, now he's got this Welsh job, which, hey, maybe he's a great coach. I don't know. I haven't really been following him. The only thing I know about Craig Bellamy is that he's got some beef going with Jesse Marsh, who is the Canadian national team soccer coach. And only reason why I know that is because after the draw, I was looking at some content regarding Canada and Italy potentially playing them if they qualify, and there was mention of Jesse Marsh and Wales not and Craig Bellamy's not getting along. And I know probably Wales, they want to play Canada, and I would like to see that game too, but not at the expense of Italy. So that's the basically the team for this Wales team. It's a hot, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's a British, it's a typical British, team playing all the players, they're I don't really know many of these players, but they're probably got high work rate, run a lot, and very aggressive. And that's where Bellamy, came from too. I think he was, mostly in the Premier League when he played. What else? So this Welsh team, they play in this Cardiff City Stadium. It's about 33K, and if you guys may or may not know that Italy, they're playing their first game in Italy in Bergamo against Northern Ireland, and if they win, they will have to go on the road to play either Bosnia or Wales. And the reason why I'm telling you about the stadium is because I think that, you know, I don't think that, the Italian players would be impacted by, these large hostile stadiums, but, there's definitely it's definitely a factor. I mean, if you would ask me, you know, I don't think playing Bosnia or Wales is going to be an easy game. So there's going to be a tough game either way. But like I said in my other video, Bosnia, they play in a stadium. It's like 15,000, seat stadium. And they haven't even filled it up to capacity, maybe like two-thirds of the way for all their games leading up to all their games in the World Cup qualifiers. So um, I'm sure if Wales beats Bosnia, that Italy, if Italy's going to Wales, that Cardiff Stadium is going to be full of people. Um, I'm not, concerned about it, but I just wanted to point that out. Um, I'm not going to, I mean, this isn't the same Italy team, right? When we won the European Championship and we went to England and we were playing at Wembley Stadium in front of what 70, 80,000 English people. And, so that's, like that historically has not phased us, because our players are playing in these kind of environments week in, week out in Italy and the Premier League and European competition, et cetera, et cetera. So moving on, what I did is I researched the kind of formation this Welsh team is typically playing, and they're playing like a 4-2-3-1. Four defensemen, two like deep lying midfielders, three in front of them, and then one striker. And similar to Northern Ireland, I believe that this team, that they're going to be a more of a compact, very hardworking team, and they're going to try to catch the Italian team on the counterattack. I don't think that this Welsh team has the the quality as the Italian team. I mean, I'm going by transfer market, and the Italian national team is valued at 826 million, and this Welsh team is about 184. So I mean, it's almost $700,000, more value, according to transfer markets. So to me, that tells me that they got better, they have stronger, more valued players, but that doesn't always result into, great play in the field and a great team. I think that the Welsh team, they're going to play, you know, very hard, and let Italy have the ball, and they're going to be solid on defense, and Italy's going to have to break those guys down. They're going to get physical with Italy, and I've always told you guys that a lot of times teams like that, they're they give Italy a hard time. You don't find very many teams like that in Europe, honestly, to tell you the truth, like in my opinion. I would say that like Northern Ireland and Wales, they're probably, have the similar profile players and play similar. And the Bosnia team, they would probably be more of a little bit more technical players, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I expect from this Welsh team if we get there. Um, what else? So, I mean, looking at the information on this Wales versus Italy department by department, goalkeepers. I mean, I I would have to say Donnarumma, is like I've told you, he's the best goalie in the world. Um, but I'm sure Wales has professional goalie defense. Defenders. I give the advantage to Italy. But Wales, like I said, they're going to be organized, disciplined. Um, but maybe they don't have, this type of players like Calafiori or Buongiorno or Bastoni, that are also attack minded. That could, attack, maybe not Buongiorno, but definitely Calafiori and Bastoni that could help in the attack. They could send some nice diagonal balls, whatnot. The midfield, Italy, I think they have the advantage over them. That's probably their biggest, where they can control tempo, create, creativity with Tonali and Barella. Wales, I mean, they're probably more, they have guys in the midfield that are going to be more, have a heavy work rate and structure, not, less of, creativity and control and tempo. On attack, like I said, I think Wales will be, more of a transition team and try to get out and catch Italy on counterattacks. Where Italy, I mean, they're going to be looking to, attack, sustain pressure on these guys and try to, make them break down movements, combinations, stuff like that. Regarding coaching, I think, I'm not, like I told you guys, I'm not crazy about Gattuso, but I still think he's a more experienced coach, better coach than Craig Bellamy. I mean, like I've told you before, he's coached at AC Milan, he's coached at Napoli. I mean, for Aurelio De Laurentiis, the owner of Napoli, to give him opportunity, I mean, yeah, I'm sure he had to see something. He's also coached outside of Italy. I think the Italian national team, it's a versatile team based on what the opposing team has given you. They're able to adapt, change formations, try different things. Um, where I think, the Welsh team, it's more of, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to see, how this goes. But they're going to be, like I said, a very physical team, very high work rate. I'm sure they want to go to the World Cup too. It's not going to be an easy game if they play. I'm kind of hoping they don't play. I'd rather play Bosnia. No offense, and I respect them all. I don't want to give anybody bulletin board material. Um, you know, like I told you, I think the Welsh team, they're going to be, compact on defense, and, they're going to try to do fast transition and, maybe try to hit Italy on the wings and keep the game an ugly game, keep it ugly with low events, and frustrate. Let the game keep going on. Frustrated. That is what teams try to do to Italy. They want to keep compact on defense, even when they played Estonia, Moldova. I know people want to talk shit and say, "Oh, Italy should smash these guys," but if you have a professional team that's organized and it's hard to break down. At least for Italy, it is. And these guys are going to try to capitalize on mistakes. Um, what Italy would need to do, obviously they need to control the ball, move the ball quickly from side to side, be patient, not too patient. I've seen this in the past. They're patient, and it's the 60th, 70th minute, something ain't happening. And when if the longer the game goes on and it's tied, the more of a disadvantage it is for Italy. They need to, in the first half, get a goal or two and, get that pressure off. They need to, if they lose the ball, um, you know, put pressure on those guys in the back, the Welsh team and their midfielder immediately to try to win it back, because, those guys are going to be looking to counterattack, and if we could cut that off, it's gonna, be beneficial. So the bottom line is, according to the data I got, the Italian team is a better team. Um, but you guys have seen when they've played these, teams like Norway, or there's more of a physical team, or they have had problems. I've told you in the past they've played, teams like that, and they're tougher for them. So we'll see. Hopefully we don't have to play Wales. Doing a I think if they played, it would go right to the last minute. So with that said, that's the analysis I have on Wales, and we don't know if we're gonna play them. Obviously, we got to play the Northern Ireland game first and see what Bosnia and Wales do, and then we'll go from there. But hopefully, you guys liked the video and you found it informative. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. You share this content with people that that are interested in this kind of content. And I appreciate the people that watch us. And it's January, and I can't believe we got to wait 2 more months for these games to find out. So, anyways, with that said, have a good day, and Forza Italia.